And we will get the Hogaak mirror up and running here. Fetching for James, who's on the play. And Swamp. Let's turn to the players here.
Trigger Imp, Smallpox, and Bloodghast, and I will pass.
All right. And
You go to the LGS on Wednesday, so you missed the live stream. Gotcha, Revenge of the Set. That makes a lot of sense.
pass turn.
And tap.
All right, both players started with Stitcher Suppliers.
Delta Mindfall Trigger.
Yep.
Oh my god, that scared the crap out of me. Something fell over in my room here.
Fetch.
I actually jumped.
Okay.
Oh man. Please don't clip that. I don't even know if it was noticeable. But I definitely jumped.
You got it.
I will.
Pretty good start here for James.
Sack.
Got it.
Stitcher. From the Stitcher's trigger. 1, 2, 3. Hogaak Swamp Therapy.
Yep.
And I will pass.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. So again, in for 1.
Yep, 17.
James not looking to
Second
engage
main.
with the supplier.
Smallpox.
I will sack to the altar.
Okay.
Bone Shards and Gravecaller.
Okay.
You lose life. Sack a swamp.
19. You go to 16. I'm going to discard Wasteland.
Me too.
Supplier that will trigger after Swampbox resolves and Swamp. And then Bridge from Below, Stitcher Supplier, and Dakmore Salvage.
Bridge from Below in the yard now.
And pass turn.
Tap draw. Delta. Trigger.
Yep.
1. I used to such long graveyards.
Mhm.
Okay. Then I will sack.
Got it.
Another sack.
More Savage and its Stitchers. I'll fetch.
Yep.
And trigger.
Yep.
Interesting. The Bloodghast
Grave
is
Claw.
back.
Got it.
Cast Gravecaller.
The Bridge from Below is now exiled, right?
Oh, yes.
For
Your bridge.
Brian?
Yes, because he just shocked. Yep.
Cool.
And then I have a Hogaak from head.
Thanks, chat.
You got it.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I will pass the turn.
Okay. Let's see. I will dredge Dockmore.
Yep.
Bloodghast. Okay.
Bloodghast in a land, it looks like. Bloodghast in a swamp.
Okay. Trigger Bloodghast.
Yep.
Bone Shard, sacrificing Bloodghast, destroying Hogaak.
I will go ahead and sack it to
Yep.
altar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You see 3 bridges, the imp, 2 lands, and then set an edict.
Okay.
Pretty good mill.
I'm gonna fetch.
Yep.
Bringing back Bloodgast.
Yep.
I have James at 15 and Brian at 18. Am I right?
Uh,
I have 1916.
yeah, so do I.
Okay.
I fetched twice and I got hit once and then smallpox.
Fetch twice, got hit once, and then smallpox. Okay, cool.
Carry on feeder.
Yep.
Robert, thanks for the follow. Welcome, welcome.
I will. Best turn.
End of turn, I will sack these 3.
Okay. While the third one, while all 3 of those are on the stack, so you sack, and then when you that, I'm gonna sack my Bloodgast to my carry-on feeder, and which would exile your bridges.
Yeah, but I still get my 9 tokens.
No, because they're gone. You have trigger on the stack. I do trigger. Your bridges exile, and then your triggers resolve. And because they're no longer in the graveyard, they're no longer in the which you no longer get your.
Okay. Well, I got 6. So 1, 2.
Let me just look this up here just to make sure.
The bridges have to be in the graveyard when the trigger resolves.
So
Yep, you're right on that. So you sack them all at the same time? Put all the triggers on the stack at the same time?
I guess so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, untap. Draw.
No real reason to shortcut there, I guess, chat, but a little bit of a blowout, I guess. If the bridge triggers were on the stack, he gets the zombies. But Bridge from Below says, if Bridge from Below is in your graveyard, create a 2/2 zombie. So you need to have it still in the graveyard when it resolves. Is my understanding. Yeah, there's an intervening if.
Gravecaller.
Yep.
Hogaak.
Yep.
It was correct to, like, the correct way to do it would be to sack, let it resolve, get your zombie, then sack the next creature rather than put all of them on the stack at the same time. Right, yeah, he should have done it one at a time. That was a misplay, I think.
I will swing with the team. So that's 8, 8, 10, 10.
Well, we're assuming, Kel, that the feeder would be activated in response to sacking the first creature to altar, so you would get 6. It would be 9 if feeder was the first game action.
5.
11. All right, and go. That puts you down to.
I was swing with the team.
All right, I'll take 11.
Go to 8. And then I will eat the Hogaak
Yep.
with carrion feeder. And then
Those zombies would have made a big difference here.
Yep.
I'll play Gravecaller and Gravecaller.
Yep.
And then Hogaak.
You got it.
1, 2, 3, 4. And I will pass the turn.
Passing the turn. I don't think there's another Hogaak in the yard. He can make them with feeder on the stack. Yeah, you're.
Alter.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm,
Alter is on the battlefield now for Brian.
swing with the Gak.
I'll block.
Okay. Gak dies.
I don't
1,
think it
2.
matters, but the grave crawlers are tapped, right?
Why?
No,
Because
he recasted them after he sacked them.
Oh, no, but for the
Oh, yeah, they're right. Yeah, because
they can't block anyway, so.
they can't block anyway. All right, I'm going to recast Hogaak.
Yep.
Chat's been a big help during this match. Thank you, chat.
Zombie is my future name. And pass turn.
Yeah. Untap, draw.
What can be done here? All of James's creatures can't block. So defense is not really an option at this very moment. Brian is at 8. That's not even 8 damage.
I think you got this. I don't see a way out of this for me.
Yeah, I think because you have to tap the grave crawlers to put right back the Hogaak.
Oh, wait. Land, trigger.
There you go.
Forgot about it. I was like, man, I need land for all my blood guests. And I'll go to combat.
Yep.
I'll swing with the team.
All right, so that's 10 total.
2, 4, 6, 8, 11.
11. All right. So regardless, I think I take, because this can't block.
Yeah, you would block the biggest and then take 8.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think you got block the biggest. Yep, you got it. I don't have an out.
Wow. I did not think James was going to win that game, but the double blood gas out of the grave got there. Okay, game 1 goes to James Parr. Yeah, this weekend I'm doing an Old Border Cube draft. I will keep everybody posted on how that goes. Not for the stream, just hanging out with some friends kind of thing. All right, Leyland of the Void for both players. What happens now?
Sounds good.
All right. Swamp, go.
Swamp Imp, go ahead.
Wasteland. Sudden Edict. Target you.
Sudden Edict
Yeah.
again.
Pass.
Is Vintage fun
Swamp.
right now, Sullivan?
I'll feed this one of the ley lands.
All right, you take 4.
Go to 16. Pass.
Feed the Swarm takes out one ley line. Needs to get rid of the other one.
Fetch. 19.
I wonder if another Feed the Swarm is in hand for James. Haven't played Vintage yet. Okay. Oh, I haven't played this format, I guess. Yeah. I'm assuming you mean with the new cards. Holovan got crazy stuff. Yeah. That makes sense.
Delta, go.
Nope. No other Feed the Swarm.
2.
14.
Deckmore Salvage. What's left? Go.
Delta.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Liliana's Triumph just got rejected. Never will be seen again. Yeah. Liliana's Triumph was not targeted.
Four.
8.
Pass.
Pass.
Yeah, the one time or two times I ever got the Liliana's Triumph bonus make your opponent discard, my opponent was very upset when I pointed it out. Liliana's Triumph resolved, and I'm like, oh yeah, you discard a card. And they're like, wait, what does the card do again?
How many cards do you have in hand?
2.
2.
I ran Liliana's in Legacy way later than I should have.
I'll pass.
And the chain go to 4.
Yep.
And for the first time, probably in a while, we get to see a Forgotten Realms card. Ebon Death?
Okay, still end of the turn.
Yeah.
Forgotten Realms card just hit the table, everybody. Everybody's losing their minds, I bet. Force of Despair. Oh my god. Oh. We had a few players on streams with us in the past because as soon as cards are officially previewed, they're legal on 90s MTG. We've had Portable Hole cast a few times already on stream getting fetched by Karn.
And a Bloodghast. And I was a go.
Right. Portable Hole will be
I
full
will
C
mirror
play where
you.
it being an
Citrus
artifact as well.
Supplier.
Ooh, okay.
Feed the Swarm. Catacombs. Bloodstained Mire. Their flips were better.
Tap, draw. Phyrexian Tower.
You got it. Yep.
We're in game 3.
Future Dim.
You got it.
Discard Bridge.
Yep.
Sack Supplier.
Yep.
I'll get 2 tokens. And then
You have,
Supplier.
you have 2 bridges?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
milled one and then I discarded one.
Yeah, sorry. A little bit of glare. I couldn't tell.
Oh, that's fine. I hit another bridge, a ley line, and 2 ley lines. What's up with my shuffling? And I will.
Does that confirm James didn't properly shuffle the deck? Is that a game rule violation? Is that a ban? Oswald
Do
Philip.
Cabal Therapy targeted you.
Yep.
And I will name Smallpox.
It's Ebon Death.
All right. That's what's the text on that card again?
So it's flash flying. It enters the battlefield tapped. And if a creature died this turn, I can play it from my graveyard. And it's a 5/2.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm going to flashback Stitcher Supplier.
Yep.
And target Cabal Therapy to me, which will exile your bridges and trigger.
Yep. Yep.
All right. I get Hogaak. Wasteland, and Bloodstainmire. And I will name Bloodghast.
Okay.
And I will discard the Bloodghast. And I have Putrid Imp, Altar, Gravecrawler, Gravecrawler. Okay. Then I will play this. Trigger Black Bloodghast.
Yep.
And that will be my turn.
Untap.
Okay, so advantage bar definitely all the way to the right now. Just because James has more creatures on the board. Thinking about trying to get this Ebon Death out there as well.
I can't count. 13. Second main phase.
All right, 13.
I'll suck Bloodghast.
Yep.
Play Swamp. Get Bloodghast.
Yep.
Cast Ebon Death.
You got it.
There you go. Now it's in
He's
play,
not tapped,
guys.
right? He's untapped.
No, he comes into play tapped.
Oh, he does. Okay, he's a 5/2.
Yeah.
All right.
Flying. And I will pass the turn.
Are your swamps tapped as well?
Yes. Sorry. I was
Okay.
too excited.
All right, no force of despair, so this is exciting.
Okay. Gravecrawler.
Yep.
Gravecrawler.
Yep.
Two.
Can't block.
1, 2, 3,
Hogaak
4,
can.
5. Hogaak.
Oh, wait, James is
You
not at
just have
6,
a
by the way.
Bloodghast untapped.
James is at 20.
So I will swing for 2.
18.
All right, and I will pass.
And tap. Draw.
Hogaak is there to block. Ebon Death flies, though. Is a Forgotten Realms card going to win this game after getting Force of Despair last game? We may find out very shortly.
Go ahead, swing with the team.
Okay, that's a 5/2 flyer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will block one of the zombie tokens with the 8/8.
Yep.
And I take 7 and 9, 10.
2 to 3.
I'm done with it. Okay.
And second main, I'll play another Bloodghast.
All right.
And I'll pass.
All right.
All right, looking pretty good for James.
Altar.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna sack Hogaak to altar.
Okay.
Targeting me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And nope, that didn't actually help me. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hogaak in the yard.
5.
Bunch of lands and altars and
Hogaak.
stuff. Hogaak
Actually,
recast.
that was a punt. Oh well, I can't do what I wanted to do then. Okay. I think you just get it with that 5 flyer. I can't do anything.
Yeah, I think so.
I should have played the Putrid Imp so I can jump it, and I discounted my mana.
But I had enough attackers, so I don't think it would have mattered much.
Yeah. Now, it was funny because I sacked the Hogaak looking for the altar combo because that was my only out. And then after I mailed it, I realize that because of your sack effects, I actually bordered out the bridges because they were just going to get sacked too easily. And after I did it, I was like, oh, wait, I bordered out that. That's not going to help me. And then I was like, oh, I don't think that actually helps.
Well, Ebon Death got revenge after getting destroyed as soon as they hit the board in game 2. So congratulations to Ebon Death, the first Forgotten Realms card to win a game on 90s MTG. Very historic moment. So how did both of you sideboard? Okay, so you brought in ley lines. That's obvious.
I
Feed the
took out
Swarm.
bridges because with his sack, it was just going to be too much. It was just going to be exiled too easily. and I boarded out 1 wasteland and 4 smallpox because again, smallpox isn't great against another deck that has all the fodder.
Right.
And I boarded in obviously the 4 ley lines, and then also 4 feed the swarms, 3 feed the swarms. And then what else? What was the other 2 I boarded in?
Force of Despair.
Oh, the Force of Despairs. Yep. Thank you.
And Brian, you're admin, I guess it's called, of the Pox Discord.
Yep. I run the
Um,
Pox Discord, so join us if you which this was kind of the brews we were playing were kind of things brewed out of the Pox Discord to try to figure out a way to make Pox viable in 2021. So this was an attempt at that.
yeah. So I guess my question is, how is Pox in 2021? I know your deck is like more Hogaak than Pox, I guess,
Yep.
debatably,
The
but
problem with Pox in general is that Pox has always been a 1-for-1 deck that basically is resource denial. So I sinkhole a land, wasteland a land. Don't play very many creatures, so I don't break. So I break a better with smallpox, and then try to run the game around with Liliana the Veil or Curse Scroll sitting on the board. The problem is like what you can ping somebody for 2 a turn when you have a card like Ura where you gain 3 a turn, or
right.
or smallpox away their creatures when you can just recur Uro. And the problem is the entire format has gone to become card advantage and 2-for-1s that traditional Pox just doesn't keep up with 1-to-1 removal. There's no like new 1-for-1 spell that's going to magically make Pox work. So Pox tends to do very well in the early game with discard and removal, and then it just kind of runs out of steam, and then every other deck claws back. So this kind of was an attempt to go Pox in the early game and then go Hogaak in the late game when you have that kind of lull where they're trying to claw back up, and then you kind of resolve your whole Hogaak setup.
Yeah, and like the old favorites of Mono Black decks in Legacy, like I'll just name a bunch of them: Nether Void, the Abyss, Chains, cards like that. Like, are those all just like completely unplayable now? I'm curious to know what you think.
I mean, essentially, again, it's just like they hold the game only for so long, and then what are you
Yeah.
going to get? You're going to get Force of Vigor and like take out your Abyss and your Chains.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True.
I mean, that's the problem. It's like you have all these lock pieces and then just easy ways to destroy them, and then you have no card advantage. There's no way you're pulling back.
That makes sense. And like Sudden Edict is obviously a card that Pox players would want. Um, are there any other recent cards? Because Force of Phil in chat is saying Douthie, Void Walker, and Turok. Like, are there any other cards that are like at the top of the list as far as the queue to test or anything like that?
So, I mean, Voidwalker's great. It's kind of awkward in playing with smallpox, so it probably works better in a shell that doesn't actually play smallpox.
Yeah.
But I mean, Voidwalker's good. We haven't really figured out I haven't seen a good deck list to make that all of a sudden makes pox that fixes pox, right? Which would Chorok, I mean, again, I've seen it in a couple lists and it seems to be okay. But again, it kind of it's can get pushed, it gets abrupt decay, it gets all the things that it and we already have him to Tarak in Legacy. If him the Tarak was it's still good, but it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
But I mean,
historically, like,
there's
yeah.
cards there, and we definitely haven't explored all of it yet. And I know other people have been. I think Saxmore Witch is probably the best thing that's come out recently with like Chain of
Oh, true.
Smog
Yeah.
combo.
Yeah. Um, I think James, you Dark Ritualed in a Sedgemoor Witch on a recent stream, right? Did that
Like
happen?
a few weeks back.
Yeah, a few weeks back. Um, because historically, what were the matchups that Pox was trying to win? Like, they were trying to beat the Delvers and the Miracles, right? The fair decks. Is that right?
I mean, Miracles always has been able to kind of outgrind Pox, but it's been there to beat. It's basically there to feed on Delver,
Yeah.
and that was a big turning point in Pox because if you look at like some of the old Canadian threshold lists or old Pox lists from pre-Uro, pre-Oko, pre that, essentially you ended up with which are like decks that you would easily prey upon. In fact, like even Pox used to do just fine against Grixis Delver, even when Grixis
Yeah.
Delver was eating up the rest of the format, because that's what it's designed to beat. The problem is like when things started getting a little bit more mid range with like Uro. I know Oko's banned now, but Oko was a big deal. And just basically had starting being able to climb back Colossus, like things that have been able to play that mid range game. Pox is really starting to fall behind even the Delvers.
And to become a Pox player, have Pox be your primary deck, are you? This is
It's
just like a
Legacy
weird.
on hard mode.
What's that? Oh yeah, in hard
Legacy
mode.
on hard mode.
But is it more about being a prison control deck player? Is what you like about it, or is it more about that? Like, I just want to play a mono black deck. Which is more important?
Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I think it depends on the player. Like personally, from me, I started Magic in probably like late '94, and I picked up Mono Black as a way to feed on like the Tundra decks of the day back in '95, and that's just what I've learned how to play. That's a strategy that I've like are comfortable playing, that type of discard sacrifice type of strategy. So
Yeah.
it's what I know how to play. It's what I like, and it's what I enjoy playing. I'm sure other people would have different answers.
What about you, James?
I'm a mono black person myself.
So you're both just mono black players, is what I'm gathering. Like if you were forced to play, let's say standard, you'd build a mono black deck.
That's what
Uh,
I know. I have decks built for old school, pre-modern, pauper, legacy, and modern. And the only card in there that is not considered black is the one of Dryad Arbor I have in my legacy deck.
Interesting. Hogaak's also a little green, but
Yeah, Hogaak's a little green too. So I have a little bit of a green tinge in my legacy deck, but everything else is mono black.
what about you, James?
um, I would say no. I like all the colors,
Okay.
actually.
So James,
But-
you're a little bit more reasonable.
Yeah. I'm just more of a budgetary kind of person.
I'm just playing. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You're not all in on mono black. No, that's awesome. It's like of the Pox players I know, it seems like more often than not, it's more important to them that their deck is mono black than that they have the card Pox in their deck.
Yep, that is more important. There's definitely a lot of Pox players that are okay with cutting small Pox for cards like Dark Confidant or Sedgemoor Witch and going that route before actually splashing a color.